All right, back on the Vevor. Tough tools, half price. This is the XZ-12A, and I did order and receive a replacement circuit breaker. Does that mean supplemental protection, line load, and winded just thinking about it. 8 amps, 98 series, 125, 250 volts. AC, and then what is that, 32 volts DC, 50-60 hertz supplemental protection, ignition protected, 125 250 volts AC, TC2 OL0C1. Okay, let me know what that means, because I don't know. This one appears to be a much higher quality, just because it has this little push to reset, and it is water resistant with this little clear button. So let's go ahead and get this thing popped back open. Just 4 screws. I got it propped up here so you might be able to see what's going on with it. Hopefully it does not topple, just because of the weird triangular shape of this unit. It's just resting on a couple of 2x4s flipped up on end. So we'll get this guy out of here. And so I'm questioning whether I should go ahead and replace this terminal, because it looks weird. Do I have one? Is the wire long enough? Well, let's see. Looks like it might have been warm. I don't know. I think that's normal, because it's all the way back up to here and it's the same color, so it just, I'm used to seeing the zinc coating or the bright shiny coating, but did this one just not get coated the whole way? If it were just copper looking on this end and then zinc or shiny on this end, I'd probably replace it, but because it's all the same, I think I'm just going to let it go. So let's get the new circuit breaker here, get everything discombobulated. Now the new breaker is physically a little bit larger than the old one. Hopefully it will still fit. I think there is enough real estate that I'm not going to have to worry about this. So it's telling me the line, which is this one, goes on that terminal very nicely. So we'll flip that over. Load side. There, it's snapped into place. Very nice. And it does fit through the hole. Perfect. I'll add the push to reset. Oh, it's even right side up. How nice is that? Then we'll go ahead and put the waterproof button on it. Get it nice and tight. Make sure it is not tripped at that point. Let's see if I can show you the back side now. Remember, it is upside down. There it is, push to reset, and then it will be water resistant. Well, let's go ahead and flip this thing back over and give it a test. One moment. And I thought I better go ahead and pop the bottom on it while I have it in this orientation. So I know you can't see all of this, but I'm just going to start by partially threading the screws in. And then let's see if I can drag this over to those two. I don't want to set the screws until I make sure I have all 4 holes clearanced. Like that. Now I'll go ahead and zip them down. They don't need to be super duper tight. Okay. Well, let's flip this thing over and I'll get the clamp-on amp meter back out into view. By the way, there is the old circuit breaker right there. Look at the... Man, this thing weighs 1.5 tons. Guess I can take the tape off the vent right now. Shouldn't make a bit of difference. It looks like a little bit did leak onto the tape, but I think it'll be just fine. I don't have the meat grinder thingy attached on this end right now. I'm just going to let it free run. Put it over here. You might be able to see. Move the camera. There you go. Might be able to see something. I'm not quite sure. I don't know what. Let's go ahead and power on the lower part of my workbench, because I do have two separate switches for the upper half and the lower half. We'll get that guy out. We'll get this guy out. And we're off at the moment. We're off there. Turn that to on. We do get a light. Unclamp the needle here. And we'll just move it to forward. Why is it so negative? I think there must be static on the screen. And we'll move it to right about 0. And so we are on the 15 amp scale, and we're showing about 6 amps. Let's go to the 6 amp scale. We're right exactly on, well, just barely past 6 amps. Yeah, according to the 6 1/4 amps. Reverse. Ooh, even more. Forward. Does not like to go in reverse nearly as much. So that is 7 1/2 amps in reverse. And about 6 1/2 amps in the forward mode. Interesting. Let's try a actual digital meter and see what it has to say. One moment. Okay, so I picked up this Amazon Basics, I think it is, or Amazon Commercial clamp-on amp meter for something I needed like a couple of years ago. Used it one time and that was it. So let's see what this thing has to say. Forward. Well, it's saying 7.5 amps on the forward mode. And the same on the reverse. Interesting. 7.5. I wonder if there's a possibility. It's exactly the same both ways. Is there a possibility that this amp meter was becoming affected by the magnetism coming out of the case and this one is not? Let me move the cord out of the way. We'll just try to move it over here somewhere where you can actually still see it. Forward. 746 and reverse 754. Close enough for me. Anyhow, this thing is repaired. The Vevor XZ-12A electric meat grinder. Tough tools, half price. Then, of course, half working as well. Anyhow, there it is. It's up and running. Going to return it to my customer. Hopefully, he will be happy to have this thing repaired. Everyone, thank you for watching. Remember, with your help, we can try to keep these things out of the landfill, out of the recycle bin, and out of the e-waste facility. Everyone, once again, thank you for making it to the end of this video. I really, really appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.